Welcome to the Speak Your Way to Cash podcast, a podcast where we teach speakers how to land paid speaking engagements and corporate contracts. Each week, we deliver high-quality content that teaches you how to level up your speaking business. Be sure to join the Speak Your Way to Cash Facebook group after having your mind blown by this information-filled episode. Now, here's your host, Ashley Kirkwood, lawyer and professional speaker. This is the Speak Your Way to Cash podcast.
Hey guys, it's Ashley Kirkwood with the Speak Your Way to Cash podcast. So this episode is a solo episode where I am going to walk through various business models that you can have as a speaker and how specifically you all can get started in those business models so that you can begin to think about how you'd like to grow your business. Now, next week's episode will feature Grant Baldwin. I'm super stoked about that. He's a seven-figure speaker who has coached other speakers on how to land paid speaking engagements as well. So you all will hear another interview episode next week, so sit tight. But this week you got me in the flesh. So, or I guess in your ear. However that works out. Okay, so let's talk about the different business models that you can have as a speaker. And I'm talking about this because I want you all to start thinking about how you can monetize speaking for your business. And if you can choose a business model, it'll help you to narrow down your marketing. So this will determine how you actually market, who you're going to market to, and how you're going to set your rates. The first thing I suggest, and this is the first thing that we do in the Speak Your Way to Cash live training, and it's something that you will be able to do even if you buy the training online, you'll do it at home in the workbook, is I need you to write down, or if you're driving, think about the amount of money you want to make from speaking. If we know the goal, then we can work backwards from that goal. Secondly, I want you to think about how many engagements you can do a year. Do you want to be on the road every single week? Do you love traveling for work? Are you anxious to get out of your state? Do you want to just do local events? Do you not want to be traveling all around the world, speaking to all these different people? Think about that too. So one, how much do you want to make? Two, where do you want to go to speak? Now, with those two things in mind, I'm going to walk through 4 different business models that you can employ as a speaker to start getting engagements. All right, let's dive in. Number 1, you can just speak for a fee. Period. You can speak for a fee. The entire model is based on people paying you to get on stage. Sounds intuitive, right? But this type of speaker may be doing 50 engagements a year, right? You may be doing 40 to 50 engagements a year. Every time you get on stage, you are getting paid to speak. The entire model is based on you reaching out to new clients, getting one-time speaking engagements in order to speak. So you'll have 50 clients this year. Next year, you may have a totally different group of clients. Now, hopefully your model will include you getting some referrals, but the entire model isn't really based on one client hiring you to do 10 engagements. And we'll talk about how you can differentiate each. But if you're looking at the high school and the college market, then traditionally you're going to be just speaking for a fee. They're going to pay you to get on stage. You're also not going to be speaking to sell, which is a different business model in which you will get on stage and sell to your audience. But if you're looking at college students, a lot of times they're not going to be people that you are going to upsell into a high ticket program. I would not actually recommend that. In fact, some of my college clients have said things like, hey, Ash, we are going to buy your book in bulk because we don't want our students burdened or feeling pressured to buy anything additional. So be very cautious if you're going to go to a college and try to sell them anything. You want to clear that with the client beforehand, because depending on the socioeconomic background of the college students, the college doesn't want them to feel like they have to buy anything else. It's already hard enough for them being in college. Now, that varies. Some schools are like, yeah, please bring shirts, bring books, bring pens, bring pencils, bring whatever you want and sell it to the students even after you speak. But for the most part, the first business model that we're going to talk about is the most common, and it just involves you getting paid to speak. If this is your business model, then you need to be reaching out to a high number of clients every single week, every single month, or at least making a connection with a good amount of clients so that your pipeline is full, not just this year, but the following year. So it's December right now, December 2019, when I'm recording this, which means you should already have some of your engagements booked for 2020, especially because Black History Month is coming up, huge month for speaking. Women's History Month is coming up, huge month for speaking, especially if you self-identify as Black or a woman. Those are going to be 2 big months, 2 big opportunity months for you to capitalize on. But you have August orientation, guys. So you definitely want to make sure that you are reaching out now, because schools in January or February are going to get their budgets, a lot of colleges anyways. And so they're trying to book these speakers. Now, they may not book you for 5 engagements for the whole year, but they may book you for a one-off engagement. So the most common business model that we're thinking of when we're considering speaking, especially when you're just getting started, is just, hey, I'm just trying to get paid to speak on stages, which will require you to have a sales plan, which is something we go over in depth in the Speak Your Way to Cash live training. So I do want to bring that out and make sure that you all know, like, that is, if you want to get paid to get on stages and your model is based on you booking a large number of engagements every single year to meet your revenue goals, you have to have a consistent pitch plan, period. There is no other way to do it. Hey guys, it's Ashley Kirkwood here, and I know this is an amazing interview. And if you are someone who is interested in taking your speaking career to the next level, then do I have something for you? Okay, I need you to go to AshleyNicoleKirkwood.com/SYWTC live replay. That's AshleyNicoleKirkwood.com/SYWTC live replay. The link is also in the show notes that you can grab the Speak Your Way to Cash live replay, which has 7 modules, a ton of information about how you can start speaking your way to cash. Now, this training is absolutely action-packed, phenomenal. It has additional resources. It has templates. It has a podcast pitch template, a college pitch template, something you can send to media outlets to get on television. It has everything you need to develop a sales strategy, a press strategy, and a plan to skyrocket your speaking career. And it is crazy affordable, okay? So head on over there right now, AshleyNicoleKirkwood.com/Speak Your SYWTC live replay, and grab your copy today. All right, let's get back to this interview. Now, if you want to work with me to develop this plan, no problem. Let's do a VIP day. We'll develop your personalized pitch strategy and we'll get you going. But if you're doing it on your own, just think, okay, do I want to pitch 20 schools a week? Whatever your number is, make sure it's a number that you can hit consistently. Can you pitch 20 schools a week? Let's talk about ways in which I know I'm going fast, but let's talk about ways in which you can start getting those speaking engagements. All right. Number 1, cold email. Cold email. It's cold in that they don't really know you, but it shouldn't be cold in that you don't know them, right? So it's never totally cold, like not freezing, but still cold. You want to know something about the person or the people that you're pitching via email and put some personalization in the email. Not just their name, something about their school, something about a program you saw coming up. Even if you saw that another speaker spoke last year, that's a good line. Hey, I saw that so-and-so was hired to speak last year. They're great. One of the things that we offer that may be complementary to what you had last year is X, Y, and Z. That's a great way to start that conversation. Secondly, conferences. Go to where your ideal clients live, or they like to go and get their education. And when I say their education, do your ideal clients have to get CLE credits? Where do they go to get those credits? What are those conferences called? Can you provide those credits? One of the things that I found out about last week was that I could partner with one of my local junior colleges and I'll provide the trainings, but they will provide the certification to the organizations that I'm pitching. So not only am I pitching my speaking services, but I can say, hey, I can give all of your teachers this accreditation, and I can just work in the fee for those certificates in my package. So that's something that's super great. I'm meeting with one of the colleges out here about that this week. But you want to think about that. Like, where can you go to find these individuals that they're also going to be going to find engagement? So think about that. So the first business model that we covered is just speaking for free. You're doing a high number of engagements every single year, and you're doing those engagements to reach your revenue goal. Okay, great. Second thing that I want to talk about, the second business model or structure that you can have in your speaking business is one where you are pitching a single client for multiple engagements. So if you think of something like an airline, right? An airline will have various offices around the country. There may not just be one office, but if you could do the training for their national office, and then they can pay you to go to various hubs and do training there, that may be a great way to build a business. And that is a great way to build a business. So one of the things that we have done is we're going to we're working with different companies that have a variety of different offices. So we may speak at their Chicago office, and then we go and speak at their office in a different state. That works well with ad companies that are national. Any company that's national that has multiple offices, this structure can work. But you just want to make sure that you're pitching the headquarters. You're pitching headquarters, right? Typically, though, the way that this works out is not that I call a client, offer my service, and they're like, yeah, let's book you nationwide. What typically happens is I call a client that has national reach. I go and I do one engagement. And after I do that first engagement, that client then offers or states, well, hey, can you do this for a variety of our other offices? Now, at the beginning of my interaction with that client on that first consult that I have with them, I do say, hey, I can package this up and we can do this training nationwide. We're happy to talk about that. And I typically will just say preemptively, because they're thinking like, whoa, big commitment. I'll say preemptively, but you know what? Let's start with doing the training in Chicago. And after that goes well, I'd love to speak with you about what a national rollout would look like, right? So then you leave the door open to have that conversation. And after they've seen you speak, they get great feedback. Their employees love you. Then you roll that out nationwide. And so the way that you would start something like that would be first to land a single engagement with a client that has national reach or multiple offices. That's going to be the start. After that, you're going to actually after you do the engagement, you do well, you get great feedback, then you're going to want to have the conversation about rolling something like that out nationwide. And you can just ask, hey, I know that it went really well last month. Do you think that would be something that your regional offices would find value in? If so, how can we get this in all of the regional offices? How would that work? Would that go directly through you? Or are there other regional directors that I need to speak with? Would you mind making the introduction? Every single company is different in how this happens. And so there's not like a one size fits all strategy that'll work for each of these companies. Okay. So you want to think through how you're going to do this. I definitely want you all though to start thinking about the fact that if you want this to work for you and you want to do less engagements, but have a bigger impact within an organization, that's going to be the strategy. You can't get to this strategy if you're only pitching companies that have one office. So if this is something you're interested in, you need to get in with companies that have multiple offices across multiple different states and think through how you can make a really big impact on that one organization. All right. Hey guys, it's your host, Ashley Kirkwood. As many of you know, I'm also an attorney, but did you know that I own a law firm called Mobile General Counsel? This quick commercial is brought to you by Mobile General Counsel, the law firm for speakers and entrepreneurs. We help you bulletproof your brand with contracts and trademarks. Every speaker knows the importance of having a solid contract. Did you also know that it is equally as important that once you develop that rock star signature speech, you get it trademarked, meaning you can then prevent other speakers from using the title of your signature speech all across the country. Trademarking is something that we do at our firm, and we do it for a flat fee, and we even have different payment arrangements based on your actual budget. So please do give us a call at 312-880-8518 or head on over to mobilegeneralcounsel.com and book a consultation today. That's mobilegeneralcounsel.com and book a consultation today. Talk to you soon. Now, if any of this sounds good, you have questions, make sure that you could leave us a review. You could definitely leave us a review and just leave your question in the review, and I'll try to answer it the next time that we come on. I love that you guys are leaving reviews. At the end of this episode, I'm going to read some of those reviews and shout out people who leave reviews. So if you want to be shouted out on this podcast, then leave us a great review. I read them all. I love them all. And, this is really a labor of love for me. So leaving your reviews really does help me to know what you all like. And yeah, pop a question in there and see if it gets answered on air. So we've talked about 1, just speaking for pay, simple, do multiple engagements every year. We talked about 2, one client, multiple engagements, and typically that's going to be done in corporations and how you can set that up. 3rd is speaking to sell. We've talked about this a little bit before, but I want to double back to it because it can be an extraordinarily powerful tool. If you listen to my episode with Matthew Pollard, he digs deep into how he built his speaking practice on this model. Essentially, the model is this. You get booked at a conference. Everyone at that conference, or at least 50% of the people at that conference are within your target audience for your business, not your speaking business, but a business that you have outside of speaking. So you all know I'm a lawyer. I own Mobile General Counsel. Hit me up if you need a trademark. But I go to conferences sometimes where everyone there self-identifies as an entrepreneur. I maybe won't take a full fee, or I'll take a reduced fee, or I'll speak just for travel. And then when I get on that stage, I'm able to educate them on the value of getting a trademark and then do a call to action at the end. Now, Matt Pollard's episode, he actually talks about the way in which he structures his call to action, which I love. Now, this is what I do. I'll go through what I do. I'll go through the tip that he leaves. What I do is I typically have them text a number and opt into some type of an option, but I don't have them opt in just to a freebie. Okay. I will have them opt in, and those who opt in will get a discount on a particular product that I'm pushing there. And I started doing this because those folks who opt in for a discount have expressed interest not only in joining my list, but also in buying something at a discounted rate. Now, what I like about that is they're ready to spend some money. That has helped me to convert those audiences into paid customers. Typically, the opt-in that I give them is a discount on a product that's under $300. Now, what Matt does and what I am going to implement as well is he stays after the event, and this won't work all the time, but depending on the setup of your event, it could be really powerful. And from the stage, he's just like, hey, if you're interested, if any of this makes sense, if you have any questions, meet me in the back right-hand corner, and I'll stick around and answer all the questions that you all have. Now, he does say, if you're going to do that, be prepared to sit there for a couple hours and answer everyone's question. But it's a great way to build relationships, find out what people's questions are. And I'm going to tell you, like, I've done some events where hadn't gotten paid to speak, and I walk away with $10,000 to $15,000 in business. One event I did was local. I basically drove down the street, spoke for 15 minutes, and I left with a $5,000 contract. That contract was paid in full within 24 hours. So speaking to sell, if you have another business that has a higher ticket item, is very, 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 very powerful. And the only way something like that works is if you are excellent at qualifying the audiences for which you will do this. And don't think because you're going to get on stage and talk about a product or a service that you're going to sell that they won't also pay you, because I've also had it happen where I am paid to be there and I speak from the stage and I'm able to talk about my products and I get paid on the back end. Those are the ideal situations. So whenever you're doing a negotiation about your rate, be sure to always ask for your fee. If they cannot afford your fee, then the secondary prize may be, okay, can you get reviews? Can I get a review? Will you provide a videographer? Will you provide a professional photographer? And if they say yes to both of those, get the name of that person, the name and their information. Make sure they are good. Okay. Because otherwise the footage won't be helpful. And then you'll need to, hire your own person anyways. And then also, will you get the emails of the people that will be there? Right? That's also a very valuable thing to have as well. So make sure that you're starting off with your fee. You're getting all of your concessions. There's a way to sell from the stage without being salesy, without saying like, if you want to buy, then come to the back of the room. No, you're going to give them great information. And if they want more information, you're going to invite them to continue the learning experience with you, period. You're not going to say like, hey, I need $2,000. I'll be in the back of my credit card swiper. No, you're not going to do that. Okay. Now, the last thing that I want to talk about isn't really a different sales strategy so much as it's a marketing strategy that some speakers use and it works. Inbound marketing or outbound marketing to get inbound speaking leads. So instead of you pitching out, what you do is you add everyone on LinkedIn who is who's a potential client or who's in your target audience. You send them a nice message. You don't sell them anything, but you drip out content over a long period of time that gets their interest in what you have to offer. So you definitely want to think about this strategy as well. And one of the things that I've seen that people do is they fill their entire speaking calendar. I don't do this, but other people do. One of the speakers that I know who does this, I think is named Benji Bruce, who's awesome. And I think I'm going to try to have him on the show as well. But he fills his calendar using Google Ads. Keep in mind, though, most speakers who do this, the paid advertising route or the outbound marketing to get inbound leads primarily as the basis for filling their calendar, they have already built up a very good book of business such that they can invest in their business. If you're listening to this and you have not made any money from speaking, I do not want you to spend money on ads as your first marketing strategy. I don't. I want your business to pay for itself. The way that we built our practice at Mobile General Counsel and my speaking company was as we made more money speaking, we spent more money on the speaking business, and that dramatically helped us. I also reserve 10% of whatever my speaking fee is for video, audio, and photo. That's a great way to think about it. So I'm setting my pricing right such that I can afford to pay a videographer or a photographer 10% of whatever I'm getting paid to speak. That 10% has been fine for me. I use Thumbtack and I look at reviews and I find videographers and photographers that way. I like Thumbtack only because it is a great tool to use. And this is not advertising for them. They're not paying me yet to say this, but it's a great tool to use such that when I'm in different states or I'm going to different states, I can just find someone in that state relatively quickly. So my admin will reach out to a few different videographers in New York, and within a couple of days, we have great leads on who to hire. So consider that. So we've talked about 4 business models. This is a really short episode, but I did want to just get you guys thinking about what business model do you want in 2020? Okay, we're coming up to 2020. You got to get your stuff in order. What is the business model that you want? All right, this is more informational. We've given some strategies in this episode. If this was helpful to you, leave us a 5-star review. Say what's up in the comments. Oh, and before I go, I definitely do want to shout out some of your reviews, which I love. You guys are leaving these reviews. And I'll say, when it's been a couple of weeks since I've posted an episode, we post these episodes pretty much weekly. And if I have not announced it to you guys, I am expecting my first child. So random, but I don't know if I've announced it to the podcast family. I say that because it really has been quite a roller coaster. This is the first time I've ever, dealt with anything like this, but it's been really, really, really great. It's been really great. And I'm super excited about it. But I say that to say, if we miss a week, then that sometimes is why. But you all have still been leaving us great reviews, and we're super stoked about the reviews that you all have been leaving us. And I do want to shout out some of you who've been pretty consistent in leaving reviews, which I appreciate. And so we're going to read one of the reviews that it warmed my heart so much. R. Thomas says, wow, thank you. Wow, just wow. Okay, so I'm a millennial business owner, and I thought I was knocking it out of the park until I heard Ashley's podcast. Not only are her episodes packed with real-world tactics for growing your business, her personality is warm and inviting. I'm a loyal fan and look forward to continuing to follow her work and hopefully attend one of her events in person. Oh my gosh, thank you so much. And side note, I am hosting a speakers retreat in 2020, so I would love to see you in person. We are going to be sending out information about that. So make sure you go to AshleyNicoleKirkwood.com and join my mailing list. That way you are in the know about what's going on. But thank you so much, R. Thomas, and send me your name so I can actually say your name. And then Shantae, who actually did attend Speak Your Way to Cash Live, left a review, and it's called Fantabulous. Ashley is so knowledgeable, inspiring, helpful, and just an overall dope person. I definitely have to have my notebook handy so I don't miss a nugget. Thank you, Ashley, for having amazing speakers and sharing your passion on this podcast. All right. So there's more, but I don't want to get all teary-eyed. So thank you guys so much for leaving a review. If you want to shout out on the podcast and you want to leave your review and let me know how it's impacted you, please do that. It would mean the world to me. And, keep listening, guys. Share the podcast, leave a review. All right. Wasn't that interview amazing? If you're anything like me, you have pages full of notes. But here's the thing. Before you head out, I want you to go to Facebook.com and join the Speak Your Way to Cash Facebook group. That is where I am. That's where a ton of other speakers are, a ton of other people who listen to the show. We all congregate there and chat. And it's 100% free. Now, if you're ready to take your speaking career to the next level, I have 2 ways for you to do that. One, you can go to AshleyNicoleKirkwood.com/SYWTC live replay and pick up the live replay. That training is 7 modules, chock full of information. It's crazy. Go over there, read all about it. Or if you want a more personal experience, you already know that you want to be a speaker. You're ready to fully commit and you want someone to walk you through it and save you tons of time Googling and doing it on your own, then book a VIP day with me. You can go to AshleyNicoleKirkwood.com, scroll down until you see the VIP day section and get more information on that there. All right. Thank you guys again for watching. Please do not forget to leave us a review. That is how we keep this train rolling and get some of the best speakers in the world to get on this show. So please, please, please leave a review. Shoot me a message on Facebook or Instagram, and Facebook in the Speaker Way to Cash group, Instagram at the Ashley Nicole Show. And I'd be more than happy to chat with you and say hi. All right, y'all have an awesome, awesome day.